Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today it's a better day than last Friday, to be honest. Thank you very much for all your praise, for all your messages. Really, I didn't reply to every message, but I noticed every single one. And that's, well, it's, the best case when I have started to share my analysis. That's now almost a little bit more than 1 year. My goal was to create a crypto community where we can share values together, informations, and that allow us just to make good trade decisions. That was mainly my main goal when I have started, my main motivation, just to help others. And you guys showed me that every single minute I have spent since a year and more, every single minute was an investment. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for being part of this community, and thank you for everything, for every single word you sent and placed just since last Friday. And just to tell you, my father was almost dead. He was really almost dead. And today it's Monday and he's recovering. He's recovering very well. So I think that God just listened to your praise, and I just want to thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Big love from my side, and I just can promise you I will spend more time to provide all these informations and analysis also in the future. For me, that's really a big family. That's a big crypto family, and it feels great. Thank you very much for being part of it. Well, the market. I mean, DXY is dumping at the moment. It didn't hold this support area at 112. So potentially even we can go down more to 109, and that should push SPY, SPX, and also BTC. The day started very weak, very static, and now some moves and activity are coming back. We will have a relatively chilled week, so no big economical events are on the table. So we need to see what's going. I mean, that would be a great opportunity for equities, just to lift up a little bit, because I think start of November is going to be maybe to be a big pain, because interest rate decisions after all the data we have seen could be very bearish. At the same time, we know that midterm elections will be also in the beginning of November, and we are noticing that the dams and the US are very, how can I say that in a very diplomatic way, desperate. So we will see if the Fed is going to make them a favor and make, 75 PPS looks like it's priced in already. So if they want to make them a big favor, 75 PPS will be the max, and maybe even go a little bit more to 50 bps. Something, it would make sense, but only if they want to make them a favor. Well, we'll see. It's at the moment, it's not really clear to me what the interest decision in 2 weeks will be. A little bit more, 2.5 weeks. And of course, we have still some other decisions. We have ECB interest rate decisions next week. So that could be also bearish for DXY and bullish for SPY, for equities in general, and even for Bitcoin. But next week, we also have the GDP for Q3 in the US. So also here we need to be a little bit, I mean, we are not done. We have consumer confidence index. We have different other events, core PCE price index, for example, also next week. So we have a whole week where, related to the events, we will have this week, equities and the markets in general can take a breath. And so it would be extremely cool if they can go up. I still think we are not done. I still think that's not over yet. And let us check if we can find anything that allows us to confirm what I think. I'm not teasing nothing. I really don't know. I just checked once all the charts today, and it was, well, I didn't see anything really bearish. Just one thing, and that's the weights ratio 30 days moving average. We will take a look right now, but that's it. I mean, really, that's it. However, let us go forward and check what's happening here. The weights ratio 30 days moving average. As just mentioned last week, it's looking like they are preparing the next big step. At least the weights ratio 30 days moving average, as you know, it's not automatically indicating a nuke or a dump, but a rising sell pressure. So they are accumulating. Even if they would, for example, expect to go up to 22K, it would make sense to start to send their Bitcoins to the centralized exchanges just to distribute the way up. So, but the trend here is clear. The trend is up, and we know what that means. Usually when we are up, it means also down once again. So at least a rising volume, that would be my expectations for the next weeks. It could be even the preparation for November. So we need to be extremely careful once again and see what's going to happen next. It dumped the weights ratio, but just to 51. So it's still above of 50, and that's really bearish. Also indicating if bulls doesn't start to be extremely brave and to buy big, in my opinion, we'll see another leg to the downside. The question is, if we go to 22K, if we are going down, for example, to 18 or whatever. It's something I don't know yet, and we need to check. So let us go forward. So the weights ratio 30 hours moving average. Also here we can see, and I adapted my trade strategy, my futures. I'm still hedging. So I reduced here my short and placed more funds to my long. That was the right decision, because afterwards we started to lift up in price, and also the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, because they started after we dumped, not big, but as you can see, we dumped. So it was sending me the signals, hey, we will go up, but that's not, at the moment, doesn't look like the initiation of a rally. So it looks like more we push up a little bit, maybe to go to 20K or something, and then to go down once again. So they started once again to send more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, also indicating, and that's what we see at the moment, 19.5 once again. I mean, we did today 19,700, and at that moment we had a gamma wall, a big one. We still have, I mean, even the gamma wall is nothing static, because if more puts or more calls are coming in, it changed and it shifted. But it was at 19,750, and I think, yeah, it is at 19,750, a huge resistance where bulls need to be extremely tough just to break this one. And in my opinion, it's not going to happen, only with a short squeeze on SPY, something that didn't happen yet. And in my opinion, we need an event that would allow to have a disruption. So something like something bullish that let liquidate all the puts and all the shorts related to SPY to initiate this short squeeze. At the moment, not happening. So in my opinion, we will maintain a trade range. At the moment, don't think we will go up to 20,000, 22,000. We will maintain below of 19,750 and even go down back to 19K. So that's why I just, I'm still maintaining my long, because it's not green yet, but very close to the price. It's 19,600 or something. So I'm waiting here, but I just added more money to my short, because I know even we will go down again, I guess we will go up once again. At the moment, that's a sideways run with a tiny trade range what we have. That's the fact at the moment. So in my opinion, obviously the best way is to trade these swings without to have a huge risk, hedging with futures, in my opinion. So use, please, Bitget. Stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, we had here a big one. It was almost 50 million. Sounds extremely, or it looks extremely big, but it wasn't. But enough to push up the price. We had this pump and dump as well. And yeah, it maintains, while the stablecoin supply is still declining. And that's not bullish at all, as we know. And that's it. Let us go forward. So, related to the flow activity, I hope bigger inflows will come in. And that was the whole weekend. As usual, very low in inflows in general. You can see that was 15 to 17. Very, very low, even here in outflow. So nothing big happened, but Friday was big. And even today it's lifting up, so the market is coming in. I think some US citizens will also start to bring some activity to the market. In the last 2 hours we received almost 1,600 bitcoins, almost 3,000 bitcoins in the last 3 hours, and we had an outflow of almost 2,800 at the same time. So we have a little tiny positive gap in favor of inflows instead of outflows, but nothing big, absolutely nothing. The interesting thing is the aggregated volume is relatively, compared to other situations where we pushed up, it looks really low. So it could be also an indication that I'm not sure if bulls are still weak or bears are not interested yet to sell back. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know. But in my opinion, bears are allowing right now to let the price go up. yeah, that's it. Because the market maker is right now active, but not big. Absolutely not big. But it doesn't matter. If you check the fund flow related to the entities, even if it's just 300 bitcoins, where 300 bitcoins is not going to drive the market, but it's enough to push the price down. And it's not because of these 300 bitcoins. It's because they use OTC, it seems, at the moment more than centralized exchanges. I will show you later that the whole push up that we had today was mainly driven by OTCs and less centralized exchanges, just because of the activity. We can see that. So also very interesting. The activity related to spot exchanges and derivative exchanges, they are still bleeding, and even more. Even if we maintain the price of 19K, it's, yeah, nothing coming back. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, that's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening here. Funding rate lifted up, declined, lifted up, and the trend is down. They are demanding more shorts at the moment than longs. We need to check BitMEX, or not BitMEX, but Blockchain Whispers. What Bitcoin, Jesus, what Binance is reporting. What's happening with you, Inspo? Open interest. Wow, money is coming in, at least related to derivative exchanges, as we can see here as well. So someone is planning something. Leverage ratio not rising that at the moment, compared at the moment, that's 1 hour time resolution. It's indicating it's not lifting up that fast like open interest. So money is coming more in, that the leverage ratio leverage ratio is rising. That's also the first time I have seen that, to be honest. Also very interesting in that way. We have received here 180 millions, a little bit more, but in the last 2 hours 180 millions. So it's not that bad. However, if we take a look, for example, we can see here that's 0. You can see it was mostly negative, indicating they're taking profit. Related to bitcoins, for example, wow, 7,300 bitcoins outflow. That happened right now, with another 3,000 bitcoins before at the top. So does that mean that's it? Possible. It's possible, because we have this huge 19,750 gamma wall. So yeah, I can imagine that's it. Another 2,500 bitcoins coming in, but we are talking about 10,000 bitcoins outflow at the same time. That's why the net flow is that red. So, and the timing is the top. So does that mean someone was longing and now taking profit? It seems. And now money is coming in while the funding rate is declining. So maybe that's it, and we will go down from here. So at the moment, they try to maintain. We have a resistance there, and if they try once again to push up to 19,750 and they fail, in my opinion, I will close my long without loss and put all this money to my short, and then let's go, because it's not a pattern. It's just that, volume is declining once again. You see that they are in trouble at the moment. They don't have enough power to break the 19,600 or 19,750. while we have this huge resistance, it's almost impossible, in my opinion, with what they are doing at the moment just to break it. So let us check. We can see leverage ratio is declining. That's the daily time frame right now, right? So it's declining, open interest as well, but the leverage ratio even more than the open interest, while the funding rate maintains almost neutral. So we can see that over the weekend nothing big happened, absolutely nothing big. Even yesterday, when they started to push up 330 bitcoins, that wasn't big, absolutely. Only when we had this pump and dump, but that was Friday, if I'm not wrong, 14th. Yeah, that was Friday. That was a big pain for bears. 2,000 bitcoins liquidated in shorts and 1,150 in longs. And the day before was 1,400 bitcoins in shorts and 2,400 bitcoins in longs. So it's big pain. Open interest on Binance. No, that's not Binance. Sorry. Oh, I don't know what's happening to me today. Sorry. That's still the aggregated one. So here we can also see what's happening with open interest and leverage ratio. Leverage ratio just declining more than the open interest. Now it's Binance, and at Binance it looks a little bit different. So we have a big open interest. We can see that the funding rate right now is declining at the top. That's also very interesting. And the leverage ratio is still lifting up. So indicating even, also here it didn't follow the open interest. In the direction, yes, but at the moment open interest is declining, leverage ratio still lifting up, but yeah, it looks healthy. At least we can see that that the leverage ratio is not lifting up that big anymore. Even it's still just too high. So now we check what's happening to blockchain whispers. Many would expect that we will go down now. The big question now is, will longs maintain or will longs decline and shorts go up? We had that different times in the past, something we need to see. Let us refresh the site and see what's happening. Yeah, okay. So longs are declining at the moment, while shorts are coming in back. Today in the morning we still had almost 900 millions. Now we have 1.2 billions, but still too much longs. I mean 60 to 40 in favor of longs. Taking into account what the market is doing at the moment, I don't know. I would be careful. So let us check what Binance is doing here. Can I spin at the same time? Oh, no, I can't. Okay. So what we see is that we have a big liquidation cluster at 20K. So I would say usually that should be a magnet. 20K would be crazy because they need then to break the 19,750 where we have a huge gamma wall. It works as a as a resistance. But well, I mean, I have my doubts they could do it, but maybe that would explain, and maybe that's someone playing this card that's saying they are not going to break 19,750. So to adjust my leverage ratio so that I have a liquidation level above of 19,750 can be a very smart move, only if this actor can drive the market. So if we check now what the structure is looking like and if that looks similar to FTX, and let us check, because on FTX 19,160 would be the next level. In my opinion, we need to have a rising liquidation cluster here to have a confirmation we will go down. And that's something it will be possible if we maintain 19,750. We maintain there, because if you check the chart, what Bitcoin did is, let me show you. Oh, yeah. I mean, usually I would expect go up, down, and that would be a perfect cup and handle formation, and then go up like crazy. We need to see. I mean, I have my doubts. I really have my doubts. But it will be possible. If they want to push up very hard to break the 1970-50, it would make sense to create a formation that's very well known, so that the remaining retailers will also push up. But, that's what I would do, at least, if I would be whale and someone that drives the market and want to distribute the way up, is to make a formation that is very well known by retailers, so that they push up the price with me. And yeah, we'll see. So, oh, yeah, of course. And back here, now we check FTX. And let us see. Yeah. I would almost say it's perfect. It's really almost identical to what we have seen related to Binance, and that's FTX, with even less liquidation volume here, 1,400. Last week we had 1,800, but that matches also very well to my charts related to the exchange activity. It's declining even more and more and more. I'm wondering how much more exchanges can do, because I mean, if we keep doing that, I really don't know how much liquidity they have as a reserve, but they need to have a lot. You have to pay all your fixed costs and so on and so forth, while the market, at least your activity is shrinking, and you need the activity to pay. That's your cash code. So it's only, and that would be another scenario, is these guys are trading actively and driving the markets as well, also possible. So however, what we see once again also here on FTX, extremely the same. Between 19,900 and 20,100 we have a liquidation cluster, and should invite exchanges to push up to liquidate them. The question is if they have the volume to do it, and that's something I really don't know. However, on the long side, they need to push down very hard, hitting 17.5 to start to liquidate big volume. But I don't think. I think we will maintain that price range a little bit. Only if SPY starts to dump once again, then Bitcoin should follow. But otherwise, we will maintain here, I guess. Maybe go a little bit more down, then a little bit more up, but that's it. So let us go forward. So FTX right now just pushing up the price. The aggregated also looking, but if we take a look, for example, we can see we are not talking about big stuff. Absolutely not. I mean, at the moment, for, well, let us say 6K aggregated, 6K in CBDs. That's not bad. What we see here is that mostly very bullish, longing with Bitcoin collateral also with futures, but much more it seems with bitcoins. That's also very interesting. So someone is longing while spot is not looking that great. FTX bullish, but not that huge. So we are talking about today almost a CBD of plus 750 bitcoins, so indicating they bought 750 bitcoins more than they sold. Also here, that's Binance at the moment. Someone is selling big, it seems, but it's also not Binance. Also interesting. So if I check here, for example, since midnight, yeah, absolutely 800 Bitcoin CBD related to Binance. That's peanuts. That's absolutely peanuts. Let us check here, for example, also since midnight, nothing on Bitfinex, really absolutely nothing. Wow. Oh, Coinbase? 70, so from here, no, almost, only, yeah, neutral, since midnight. They went down a little bit, then they went up, and now they are once again absolutely neutral since midnight. So from here, the only thing is, here we were at 19,280 and now we are in 19,600. So if they continue, and that's what they did, they distributed here, and that's why it seems Coinbase was mainly here the driver. Wow, that's crazy, because that would explain why all others had almost a neutral CBD at the same time. So you know, they distributed and they are not buying at the moment. They are maintaining. So nothing big here. Absolutely not. So let us check what entities are doing. Retailers buying. Great. Great stuff. Let's go. Also, these guys are maintaining. They are not doing anything. These guys maintaining. They are not doing anything. That's strange, because these guys were relatively bullish all the time. This guy's here buying the dip. That would be very interesting if they still see that as a dip. And the market maker declining more its balances. They raised their balances by 60,000. So they reached a level of 4,920,000 in balances, and now it's indicating 4,890. Let me check if I can see the exact number. It's 4,890,223 bitcoins at the moment. So they reduced its balances by 30,000 bitcoins, and it looks like I was unfortunately once again absolutely right, and they are preparing the next big step, so indicating at a certain moment they will dump the rest of their 60,000 bitcoins, so they still have 30k. And yeah, when that happens, it's absolutely clear we will go down. The question is when. That's always the question. So it's also possible that we go up a little bit more and then they start to decline and to reduce their balances. You can see, let us refresh the site just to see the last activity related to the market maker. And market maker sent 1,000 bitcoins in the local top, and that's what I say, it's not big. 1,000 bitcoins, it's peanuts. You are not going to move the market big. Just if you sell 1,000 bitcoins and once, you will for a short term have a price impact. But these guys are using at the same time OTC and Bitcoin collateral. So if they are using Bitcoin collateral and the Bitcoin collateral futures are lifting up, indicating they are buying longs, it's possible that we will go up a little bit more before we start. As soon as we see that these guys do something like here, you know, where they send 3,000 bitcoins, it's absolutely clear they will go up and then afterwards again down. That's what they love to do every time. Up, start to distribute, up to distribute. And that's what these guys are always doing, because these guys wants to distribute. They want, at the moment at 19k, they feel very comfortable. They are, I didn't notice any more this aggressive move to push down the price very hard. So it seems they feel comfortable at 19k. The question is it just a trap? Is just to let us think, hey, 19k is the bottom? We know that 17.6 would be then the bottom, but maybe. And usually when you have such a bottom at 17.6, the markets will start to look for a spring, indicating we would go down to 17.6, maybe even a little bit more lower, and that would be the moment of reversal. But at the moment, not happening at all. So we need to see. I mean, we were very close to it. You know, we were at 18,120, but we didn't visit 17k anymore. So we need to see. Also here, Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifting up once again, while we had, you remember, just a tiny gap between inflows and outflows. But at the same time, Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up by almost 3,000 Bitcoins since this midnight. So also here indicating, looks like preparation. Yeah. And well, that's the centralized exchanges activity, as you see. I mean, look that's crazy. It hurts in my, that really hurts. That really hurts. You can see now that's the moving average, 30 days moving average in exchange activity, and that's the Bitcoin price. And that's the future. That's only spot and that's future. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Exchanges are bleeding like hell. Miners lifting up, sending more bitcoins right now to exchanges, but not big. I mean, yesterday it was 1,300. We can check the 1 hour time frame, and well, no, it's not big. It's really not big, not at all. Absolutely not. It's fine, but absolutely not big. And what we see here is the price started to lift up while OTC, and you can see that's the activity on centralized exchanges. We have a gap here. The gap was filled by OTC. At least that's network activity. If you see centralized exchanges have a gap, but someone is refilling it, that's usually the OTC. So it seems that the whole push up was much more initiated by OTC. And then afterwards here, it went up. We can see that. It started to went up while the price that was in that leg here was almost very big already, indicating, in my opinion, the first retailers jumped in, expecting we will go up from here. Afterwards, as you can see, the price started to decline and the centralized exchanges started to dump, while OTCs maintains active. So I would be extremely careful here when OTCs are so active. Yeah, that's it. Let us go forward. So Coinbase, let us reduce a little bit the volume to, what is that now, 200 bitcoins or something. And what we see is my expectations. So if they really want to make a cup and handle, the best thing is to go up, hitting 20k, let the price go down once again, hitting, for example, 19,600, and then push up very hard. So that's something we need to see. If they want to be bad guys, then they will go up to 20k. They will let go down the price to 19.6, maintain there, maybe let this go up a little bit more, for example to 19,800, and then nuke it. They will, in my opinion, they will liquidate. If I mean, every bull will flip to disbelief afterwards. I mean, everyone. But that's something we need to see. It's just too early to say that, but it looks perfect for me, because they are limiting the way up to 20k, and you see how many sell orders they have, even here 21,000 for example, and they are also here placing new walls at 18,000, more liquidity. They reduced liquidity here at 14k, but you know, I still think we are not done here. We are absolutely not done here, and they have a lot of seller orders here waiting. So we need to see, in my opinion, I don't think we will see 20k, only if, as mentioned, SPY would go up, but at the moment it would be extremely cool, but to go up to 20k and then start to decline, to let every guy out there that has more than 5,000 followers will start to tell their followers up only, cup and handle, and so on and so forth. I know that because that's a pattern. That's a very well-known pattern. It wouldn't surprise me if I would start to notice that on Twitter. You will see like Carl mentioning, I go all in. I have sold my father and my mother and my house and my pets, and I'm all in right now because cup and handle and then up only. Something like, you know, stupid in my opinion, but whatever. That's what's happening. 18.5 would be the next bigger limitations by Coinbase here. 18.5. Deribit. Also Deribit still limiting the way up at 19,000, well, almost 20 and 20,400. To the downside, a lot of different orders, but nothing big. The next one would be at 18,800. Bitstamp. Bitstamp reduced sell orders to at 20,500 and have positions now at 20,721k. They are not reducing their liquidity here, even bringing more liquidity to the downside. Also very interesting at 15k, at 15.7, and so on and so forth. Binance Spot. Well, I have tweeted about that. In my opinion, also here 20,500. They placed a new big order. They reduced some sell orders here to the upside. They are here at 18.5. That will be the next bigger thing. 18.5. Everything else is absolutely free. That's also very interesting what they are doing. So we should be extremely careful. For 18.5, that would be crazy. That would be absolutely nice for my short, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, also here limitation 20k, and we need to reach 20k because, as you see here, also some orders waiting, and they limit it very well. So even here 20,500, in my opinion, doesn't look like they want to let the price go up, but also not to the downside. So that is based on Binance, our trade range. It's between 20,500 and 17,500. It's almost 3K. That's not bad. Not at all. So Bitfinex spot. Bitfinex limiting the way down at 18.6 once. So another exchange confirming it. They also very interesting. What is that here? Why are these guys bringing liquidity to the downside? They removed the sell order at 20,700 and have now at 21K, but also a lot of sell orders to the upside. Not looking great. Also not based on Bitfinex. While you can see Bitfinex is also related to based on CBD, not really buying. FTX perp. FTX perp. And that's the only thing that let me wonder a little bit. As you see, we had a huge cluster of short positions. Almost everyone is gone. Now, it seems they flip more to the downside, to longs instead. And that's interesting. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's something like, hey, we will go up, or just indicating we will go down and I just want to long. Because that's what they did here, in my opinion. They were expecting we will go up, and we didn't. But I really don't know if FTX... I know that FTX is, in my opinion, also using different other exchanges, mainly Binance, for example, but they removed liquidity at 15K. We still have this cluster of liquidity since a while. I really don't know what FTX is doing. The next bigger limitation to the downside, it's 18K. So 18.5, 18K. We need to be extremely careful here. 18,000 Kraken as well, spot. Limiting the way up at 19,800. With also here for Kraken a lot of sell orders waiting. BitMEX. BitMEX, it looks like also waiting at 19,800. I'm not sure if that's a wall. I think it's not. We had a wall here, but it disappeared, so I would say nothing. Binance futures. Binance didn't change a lot, so it's different to FTX. So they are still doing the same. They are still here looking for shorts a lot, and I'm really talking about a lot of shorts waiting here. And yeah, so we have more shorts waiting than longs. And at the same time, you see they are pushing the price more to the downside. You can see that. That's really simple to see that. You see all the white here. Oh, I need to change the color. All the white here. Oh, I need to change the color. All the white here. It's just because they wanted to push the price more to the upside and the future price. And that's what they did here as well. That's what they did here as well. That's what, for example, here, very interesting, they just did on both ways. Why? Because they just wanted to maintain a price range. So afterwards we had the disruption, we went down, then up, they pushed more to the upside or to the downside, and now here it was clearly pushing to the upside. We had here more volume than here, so they were longing, and right now we have here more volume than here, indicating they are more in favor of shorting than longing. So also something where in my opinion it looks like even we go a little bit more up to liquidate late shorts, in my opinion we will go down afterwards. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. I mean, on Bitfinex derivatives we always need to reduce a lot the volume, but even then still at 16k waiting, nothing big there. OKEX futures, one to short at 21 or one to long at 16.6 or 15.5, so absolutely nothing big. Kraken futures, wow, Kraken, what is that? Someone, okay, crazy. Kraken have per hour almost a volume of, let us say, 1 million or something, and here someone placed a big one, 13 million's volume, and someone wants to long big, 11 million in longs. Okay, that's crazy. FTX spots. Also here on FTX looks like they removed the sell order here, and at the moment, as you see, they removed liquidity also to the downside. We still have liquidity more than to the upside, but however, here nothing that let us figure out what could be the next step. Here they are buying, as you can see, the CBD is just rising, and we can see also they push the price down here and push the price up here. So this order book thermovision, I love it because it shows you very clear what these guys are doing. And that's it.